Hi Pisces, here's a general look at your solar chart for December 2012, and on this particular December, which is no ordinary December, there's quite a lot going on. So before I get into your forecast, I just want to say a few words. On the 21st of December 2012, this very famous December, the moon is going to be in Aries. Moon moves once every 2 days, so it will just fall into Aries, which is the sign of new beginnings and pioneering into new areas. Also, the Sun is going to be conjunct an asteroid called Juno. I don't usually mention the asteroids, but this one's worth a mention because it's on such an important day, and it's also going to be, the Sun is also going to be in a wide conjunction with Pluto. Juno represents a sort of collective remembering, and maybe about why we came here in the first place to have this human experience, why we spirits came to have a human experience in these very sort of limiting dimensions. And why as well we particular spirits happen to be here having a physical human experience at this pivotal moment in Earth's long history. From December this year, we are likely, the frequency that's been bombarding this planet, the higher frequencies that have been coming into our consciousness, and some of us of course won't even be aware of this, but definitely speeding things up and changing the sort of sense of time really is going to increase from December 21st 2012, I think, and the very character of time itself, or a perception of it, is going to be changing, and it's going to be reminding us more and more strongly of our roots, our contracts into the deep past, and also to our soul family, and also to our spiritual path. So December the 21st 2012 is going to be the turning point moment when the Sun and Juno and Pluto are going to help us to emerge from the long galactic winter of 25,626 years, give or take, a year or two. And there's going to be these first rays, this young light of the galactic spring, and we will begin we will begin to awaken from the long sleep of forgetfulness, which has kept us sort of stuck, really, for millennia, and at the same time as our solar system finally starts to orbit back towards the galactic center and not away from it, as it has been doing for millennia. So there's a lot going on, and I think this lineup, because there's going to be the lineup of the Earth and the Sun and the galactic center, where we're all on the same plane, and our solar system is all on the same plane with the galactic center, and I think that this is going to help us to remember. So the long trek home and the long remembering is going to begin in earnest as we begin this age of Aquarius, and we are in the first tiny glimmerings of the age of Aquarius, but still in the age of Pisces. So we will begin to remember not only our origins at the beating heart of love and unity, from which we all spring increasingly now, and probably there's going to be more sightings of ETs and UFOs and so on, because from what I've been given, it's not just us that are going through this shift of ages, it's the whole shebang, it's the whole galaxy. Every level, every dimension, every plane of being is shifting. It's big stuff. And we will come back into an alignment, a right relationship with the mothership. We need to do this. We need to come back into a respectful and correct relationship with our mothership, and that is our Mother Earth. It's about time we did. So now to get on with what's coming up over the month on a sort of personality level. Well, here's an outline anyway. This month you're probably going to be quite aware of your overall direction in life, or it might simply be that you've got certain goals and ambitions that you want to achieve, but it could be a little bit of a mixture of both. You know, your which way your rudder is kind of your tiller is pointing, or the needle is pointing on your compass as well. And if also for some reason you might be more aware of your image, how you're coming across, how you're presenting yourself, or you're packaging yourself. More of you will have connections with parents at this time, so maybe you have to reach certain standards, or parental figures, or maybe it's not like that. Maybe that others are seeing you as the parental figure, and however it is, you're wanting to sort of keep a firm hand, make the right impression, and feeling a little bit under the spotlight at times. It might mean that some of you might have to be dealing with more officialdom or bureaucracy, and you could get a little bit frustrated being by the rules and the red tapes, you know, as we all do from time to time, but definitely you having to be more of the authority yourself at times up until the 21st. And then from the 21st you enter a sort of freer, more innovative, progressive phase, very social phase, get-togethers, friendships, new connections, old connections, all mingling in together here as possibilities. Any of these could be highlighted, so it's absolutely spot on for the festive season. And then when the Sun makes a perfect conjunction with Pluto on the 29th, 30th, then there could be some inner turmoil for some reason, it could be that you have a sort of a conflict going on between your head and your heart, or your head and your kind of deep kind of hunch. So listen to your hunch. That's what I'd say, Pisces. Go for the hunch. Definitely when Pluto's around. Now, the new moon on the 13th means fresh beginnings in the area where the Sun is. That's to do with your career, your general direction in life. So from the 13th, for the 4 weeks subsequently, there can be, you know, improvements made there, change, fresh start in some way, even if it's just setting an intention out there, right, for later on, you know, in next year. Now, until the 11th, your mind could be very much focused on those at a distance, connecting with those in foreign lands, or from a different background, or with a different area of expertise. Maybe it's like that. But somebody sort of outside of the normal box. And there may be moments when you're learning a lot from this as well. Mercury particularly likes this area, which is very communicative. So it might be you learning, or being the teacher, or it might be you being the student, or maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's you putting the word out across a wider stage on something. And it also might mean that you're looking into the legal side of things, some of you. And then from the 11th, and by the way, on the 11th, just be aware that Neptune's around on Mercury. So there might be a sort of a misconception, or a cross wire, or something that is just not all it seems to be. It could be like that there. But as I say, it's very brief, fleeting, and then from the 11th, discussions, correspondence, and ideas may be centered around short-term plans, or long-term, you know, the master plan, and general direction, or a new enterprise, something that you're launching into. You may be thinking around this, but also any goal or scheme that you're hoping that will unfold, or is unfolding perhaps. So you could be putting mental effort into expressing yourself in the best way you possibly can, so as to make the right impression, Maybe that's through speaking and writing, or some sort of paperwork correspondence, or maybe you're listening to others who are trying to come across in their best way. I don't know, but vehicles, transport, or communications equipment could also be more strongly highlighted from the 11th onwards. Until the 16th, places and faces at a distance may just... those sorts of warmer relationships, or relationships in general, but could be connected to those at a distance, or those connected to travel or transport, or maybe some sort of different culture or area of involvement or expertise. And definitely you can learn a lot through such a relationship, or in fact there can be a facilitator or a teacher or a guide for you. And in fact, for some of you, this might be your guides, who are discarnate beings. But definitely that's a time for those sorts of relationships to get a lot warmer, and you feel supported and encouraged by such relationships. But it could simply be, you know, a relationship like a family relationship, connected to somebody at a distance. And then from the 16th, then it's going to be more around getting the act together, getting things organized, and discussions and correspondence will be sort of centered around achieving certain goals. And for some of you, it can be bigger than that. It can be like a more long-term thing, the master plan in general. So a lot of sort of chatting about, you know, where are we going from here, sort of thing, and looking at the way things are unfolding across the wider stage. So be alert to the omens. And you will be putting mental effort into, or rather, you will be putting, I suppose that you could say, mental effort into that, but very much listening to the other person's take on it, you see. Now, Mars, until the 26th, Mars is emphasizing a group dynamic, friends, social circle, any sort of thing over the net as well. And all of that's going to be a very dynamic area, and it's a progressive area as well. And you might be feeling that you can at last meet up with, or get on with, or experience certain things that have perhaps you've been waiting to do, or have been on the back burner for quite a while. And your physical energy could be going into this. There could be a physical demand on you. Maybe a bit overwhelmed with everything you've got to do for others. It could be, or you know, you're in with a team, and you're pulling together, which would be sort of ideal. You're pooling efforts together. But watch out that you don't turn into the one that sacrifices. That is a Piscean kind of tray, and you end up being the one that's kind of at the bottom of the pyramid, holding everything up. Now, in general, new friendships and original approaches to life will help move your life forwards, though in small ways, or maybe in quite big ways. Mars likes to initiate things, so with Mars here in your solar chart, it might mean that you're expected to be the one that is decisive and takes the initiative, and others are looking to you for that, because you just might find yourself volunteered into a sort of a more prominent position in some way, or a position with more responsibility, temporarily, I guess it might be. And then from the 26th, Mars enters a sort of incubating, sort of background incubating area, where you can kind of hunker down and be more the Piscean that you are, in this sort of almost like more solitary, doing things just in a more solitary kind of a way, or perhaps not like that, perhaps just from doing an awful lot more than people realize you're doing, kind of from behind the scenes, and definitely being of service, being the bridge there for others. And it's a good time, though, to watch your own energies, rest enough, put your feet up enough, let go sometimes, and let others take the strain, because also, even though there will be more demand on you, there's also more demand on you to look after you. So to draw that line in the sand. But definitely it's a more introspective time. You'll be kind of pondering, mulling things over, maybe harking back to the past, maybe feeling a bit nostalgic Pisces. And also your unconscious, your dream life. This is very much going to be triggered from the 26th onward, well on all the way through, almost all the way through, I think. January, it's kind of like that, although I haven't got my book of numbers here at the moment. Oh yes, I have. In fact, I can just look at that. Yes, it's all the way to the end of January. So just pay attention to your dreams, your visions. It's great news for you artistic Pisceans, because imagination is working very, very well, but also for all of you Pisceans, your intuition is working well. Some emotions or inner frustrations might get the better of you, but try not to let them. Just watch out for that, and you should be fine. But definitely there are forces in the background that are very much looking after you and trying to guide you. And you might, at all times, this is true for us all, but you might be more aware of them at this time. And you might even get some sort of message at this time, whether that comes through somebody else or not. And that's it for December. If you want to know what Jupiter and Saturn and the other slow-moving planets are doing, then go and have a look at my website. And also, if you want to hear the forecast for your moon sign or your rising sign, it'll add to or subtract from what I've said here. It'll just give you maybe a different angle on things. And I hope you have a very happy time over the festive season and enjoy yourself, and I will see you the next time.